This is the Geekery Update with Alan and Brian. You are Alan.
And you're Brian.
Jared Leto, Joe Manganiello, can never say his name, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, and Amber Heard are all going back to film new scenes, not refilm old scenes, but film actual new scenes for Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
So if Jason Momoa gets, if he films his scenes, they won't like CGI his beard off, will they?
I don't know.
Well, wait.
First of all, when this whole Zack Snyder Justice League cut was announced, it was very explicitly mentioned that he didn't need to film any new scene. So I honestly think, and call me crazy, but we might be seeing a completely different Justice League. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like completely different.
Okay, so well, first of all, I wanted to touch on the past Deathstrokes we've had. So we've got the show Titans. The whole second season was about Deathstroke,
right?
And that was a very great arc, and it was a very good treatment for Deathstroke that we had. I think the only other live action Deathstroke we had was on Smallville, and
the Flash, or not the Flash, Arrow season 2.
Forget about him.
Dude, that was an awesome. Season 2 of Flash was so good.
That was the best season, in my opinion, of Arrow.
Hands down.
And then
hands down.
And then they returned to him. They brought him back for later season, and actually he teamed up with Arrow.
Yeah.
And then so this is what disappoints me. So they build him up, and they're like, we kind of got like a redemption thing going on. And then he wants Arrow to help him find his son, because his son is and so we kind of go that route. Then always with Warner Brothers and DC, the way it's been is like movies are first grab. So they're like, well, we want to use Deathstroke. It's like they tried to introduce Harley Quinn, and they're like, nope, we're having her for the movies. And then they had Deadshot. They had him for. They
actually had an episode of Small Little Suicide Squad Team 2.
Exactly.
It was one episode, but it was a very small episode.
And all that they took away because they wanted to use them for the movies. So then
we need to use them for our movies. Yeah. So TV shows can have them.
It's like, we can't have both. But anyway, so they had they're doing Deathstroke. They had that whole arc, and then about his redemption, and then they're like, nope, we're gonna have Joe in the movies. And I think they kept his son on. They kept Deathstroke's son in there, but they took Manu Bennett out. So that was disappointing.
Dude, Manu Bennett killed it as Deathstroke, though. He was like, I think he made season 2 what it was. His presence, like, I remember the first scene where you realize he's still alive when he's in the Arrow's house. God, what's the Arrow's name?
Oliver Queen.
Yeah. So he gets into the house, and he sees him, like his mom and him are talking, and he turns around on the chair, and you see him. And his first immediate presence, the first thing you think of when you see him is, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, it just got really real. And then I love that let me revise that. I don't love, but I think it was such a great screenwriting tale to have him be the one that kills his mom.
Yes.
Like, that was so, and to do it in front of him. Yes. Like, Manu Bennett killed that role.
Now, that whole scene where he's in his house, and where Oliver Queen goes in there and realizes he's in his house, they kind of mirrored that scene on Titans. Dick Grayson is he's also a detective on the show. He quit being Robin, and he was an actual police detective. So that's kind of his persona. And so he's trying to he's got this whole case about Deathstroke that he's trying to crack and everything. So he goes and visits Deathstroke's ex-wife, and he goes in there to talk to her, and I think she says something like, "Oh, there's somebody in the living room that would like to speak with you." And he goes in there, and then you just see the chair turn around, and it's Slade Wilson.
Yes.
So it's kind of a mirrored scene. Now, I also wanted to point on so on Arrow, when they did the whole redemption arc and brought him back, and they had his son on there, so they used his son Joseph Wilson.
Right.
Now in Arrow, the way they did it was he was like a second generation Deathstroke, and they did that.
Just really quick, I'm gonna screen share something.
Okay.
I just want the audience, everyone watching, to see how awesome Joe Manganiello looks as Deathstroke.
Oh yes. But as you're doing that, so they've used. Oh yeah, he
is going to kill that role. I mean, I love that he has gray in his beard, and what I see when I look at that picture is not a Deathstroke that's been Deathstroke for a couple years. This is him having done it for years and years.
Oh, yeah. He is very
a master of what he does, and that's why I just love that they're bringing him back for the Snyder Cut, because he was in the end credits scene. It was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But new scenes is maybe soon we'll get news. Ben Affleck is back filming new scenes as well.
Well,
and
they had
finally get that Batman versus Deathstroke fight we've been longing for 10 years.
They had that whole scene at the end where Lex Luthor is like, I'd like to create a team of my own. You know, we're thinking we're going to get the either the Injustice League or the Legion of Doom.
Right.
And then when they nixed that, it was like, what was the point of that? But he was saying, so on Arrow, they used, they had a son, Joe Wilson. He became like a second generation Deathstroke. And I thought they already did that with, on Legends of Tomorrow, they did where they went to the future of Star City. And you had Arrow with his one arm from Dark Knight Returns. And they had another one of his sons, and he was going up against the second generation Green Arrow. But anyways, so they had that, but Joseph Wilson in the comics was a Teen Titan. His name was Jericho. And he was mute because there's a whole his whole origin was like his dad he accidentally got mixed up in one of his dad's deals, and his dad accidentally slit his throat. And so and then he had this power where he could become a ghost and he would go possess somebody. And so they actually did that on Titans on season 2. They didn't call him Joseph though. They actually called him, like, his name was actually Jericho. And they actually did that with his powers and stuff. And that was the whole arc that they used with Deathstroke. They had his son in there, and they had his daughter. So that was really cool. But so yeah, they've done some really good stuff with Deathstroke, and so I'm really anxious to see what the DCEU is going to be doing.